Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome out to the unveiling of the new limited edition Yonkers Public Library card.
I'm sorry,
Along with
say that again, I can't hear you.
the new limited edition Yonkers Public Library card, dedicated to the 50th anniversary of hip-hop here in Yonkers, Platinum City. Listen, guys, it's very important. I just want to introduce myself. My name is Harold McCoy II, and it's very important to me that I say the second, because there's a man in here who it's hard for me to follow his path, his contributions to the town and the lives he's touched. That's Harold Sr., my father. I just wanted to give it up to him. He may have stepped out, he may have left.
I heard the blue notes in the back.
I can only hope to fill his shoes. What I'd like to say is, this event that's taking place is something that Jerome, myself, Teresa, Andrew, Gene, Beatmaster Gene, and the entire Yonkers Lost City of Hip Hop staff, team, we've been doing since February. Dr. Baskerville, Dr. Robert Baskerville, he's also a part of the team. Miss Nicole Wade, she's also a part of the team, the Yonkers Lost City of Hip Hop team. But we've been doing this since February. We've had a place in the annual, this year's history of hip hop, and we represented Yonkers. We just recently had, last month we had a dedication to Trev Hollywood, who's in the building. Trev.
Yo, stand up, don't be Hollywood, Trev. There you go, man.
If you've noticed, we now have a new dedication. It's to my brother and one of my favorite MCs in the town, Large Amount. Everybody, give it up. Stand up, Large. In addition to the Yonkers Lost City of Hip Hop team, also, I'd like to thank, sincerely, the Yonkers Riverfront Library team. That's Jesse, Arnaldo, Eric, Eileen, Ty, Kim, Deb, Mary, the whole staff. If I didn't say your name, you know I meant to. Today I'd like to welcome to you all the unveiling of the new library card, Riverfront. I want to take this time to acknowledge some of our esteemed guests that we may have present. We have Rough Riders participating. We have contributions from Assemblyman Nader Sage, Congressman Bowman, Andrea Stewart Cousins, City of Yonkers have all acknowledged Yonkers' contribution to hip-hop. We're going to move a little bit differently, other than what the program may say. At this time, because we're shifting the program around, what I'd like to do is introduce you to a gentleman that I met this year. He's a music teacher. He's the director of hip-hop theory for Yonkers Lost City of Hip Hop, and he has something special he'd like to share with you guys. Andrew Wang.
All right. Thank you so much, Harold, and thank you everyone for coming. So this is going to be nothing that we've revealed. This is actually a surprise. I'm going to be contributing to the Yonkers Public Library through the donation of my own personal music tech equipment to create a music recording studio here at the Yonkers Public Library. Thank you. So, If it wasn't for hip hop, I wouldn't even gotten into music technology. I started around 8 years old, and if you've seen other workshops like before, that I started off by doing what was called beatboxing. And I found that out from a camp counselor, and I asked him, like, where'd you learn that? He said, from Dougie Fresh. So I looked up who Dougie Fresh was and watched his mouth movements. You could say I was researching a person's mouth, I guess. Fast forward a couple of years, about 12 or 13 years old, my friend showed me this product called Machine. And it was a way for you to make drum pads that sound like mouth noises if you were beatboxing. And I thought that was so cool that I pleaded for my parents to get me one. And on my 13th birthday, well, my parents got me a Machine. Hip-hop really has been a big part of my life. And beatboxing made me feel like I was doing something unique, and it felt like it gave me confidence, which propelled me to want to share my love of music and confidence to my students and for the future generations. Recently, this equipment was just sitting in my parents' house. I have such a busy schedule with teaching at 2 schools and doing my private lesson work that it was hard to just find time to do music production. So I want those who would actually have the equipment to put it to great use and get the same excitement I did when I was 12 or 13 getting that gear. That's why we're calling this project Sounds of Tomorrow. Not only will I be donating the equipment, but I'll also help dedicate time during after school for any aspiring young musicians. During this program, So during this program, students will learn about studio engineering, songwriting, production, music theory, studio setup, and I'm working with a company that is willing to give us the program to put through the library and see how it works out through a program called Soundtrap. So very excited for them to be on board, and they're going to be hopefully on board in the public schools as well, so very exciting. And it could be, this program's for anyone of any musical interest. It doesn't just have to be hip-hop. There's such a large, rich culture in Yonkers of different musical genres such as pop, jazz, and rock, and I want to be able to have students use the equipment based on their musical interests. Along with a studio program, those who are familiar with music production can benefit through public studio access. So those who receive a card can reserve studio time for their own music projects. This can help emerging local artists and producers the opportunity to bring their music visions to life, learn new skills, and collaborate with others. And all the music created in the studio from the Sounds of Tomorrow program will credit the Yonkers Riverfront Library. And also helping to encourage Sounds of Tomorrow program, I wanted to reveal another surprise that I haven't said to anyone yet, except maybe Jerome. I don't even know if I told Harold this. Jerome is working on a new book called The Making of the Scribe, which describes his journey in Yonkers through hip-hop. I'm going to personally help support the book by creating a teacher's manual for a curriculum of hip-hop exclusively for this city here in Yonkers. So the curriculum will show the impact hip-hop has had on the culture and let others understand that hip-hop is not just here for the 50th anniversary, that hip-hop in Yonkers is going to be for a lifetime, will last a lifetime. And more details of that will follow. So in summary, Sounds of Tomorrow offers the Yonkers Public Library an innovative way to engage, educate, and empower the community through music. By supporting this program, the library takes a pivotal role in enriching the lives of Yonkers residents and nurturing future talent. We are confident that this initiative aligns with the library's mission to educate and enrich the community. And we look forward to discussing how we can make this vision become a reality. So, thank you so much.
Okay, everyone. I'd like to take a few minutes to acknowledge everyone in this building right now. This means so much to me, to Jerome, and to all of us, that this actually came through. Look at the children. This is the library, and the library is the place in any municipality that is a demonstration of the level of academia that any community can reflect. And we have 3 libraries. This is the downtown library, and we have a lot of young people in here today. And the whole idea of what we're doing is to get people to come back to the library. Technology is a blessing and a curse, I suppose. There was a time we would go to the library to look up anything we wanted to look up, to do your homework. We had book reports and assignments to do. You had to go to the library. You don't have to come to the library with today's technology. You have the library in your back pocket. However, with Jesse Montero, the director of the library, executive director of the Yonkers Public Library, what he's trying to do is make libraries the place to be here in Yonkers. There are several programs that are coming out of the library. There are different events that take place here in the city of Yonkers, right here in this library. So I'd like to take a few minutes to thank Jesse, thank you guys, and to thank Jesse for making the library that place again. All right. In the interest of time, and it may appear as if I am doing a little dance, we're going to keep things moving until we have to switch gears. Is that right, Jesse? Yeah. All right. Right now, what I'd like to do is we're going to start moving forward with the show. I'd like to introduce a very good friend of mine, family friend. This young man has an amazing past, and you'd be surprised. He has the ability to speak in any room, in any crowd. No such thing as pressure. He's a professor at Bronx Community College. He also taught hip-hop theory at the College of New Rochelle. I'd like to introduce who will be doing the reading of the foreword of the book, Yonkers, Lost City of Hip-Hop, Dr. Robert Baskerville.
Rob, break it down.
So, yeah.
That's hip-hop.
So, definitely. So, good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with all of you this evening. I'd like to give a special thanks to my friend Harold McCoy II and all of the members of the EVE, Lost City of Hip Hop team for allowing me to participate. I'll be reading the foreword from Jerome Ender's book, Yonkers, the Lost City of Hip Hop. So here we go. For those of you who have your books, if you don't have a personal copy of your own, I'd encourage you after the program to purchase a copy. You'll find the foreword on page 1. So here we go. This story is about DJs, producers, and song composers, their trials and tribulations trying to get exposure. So when it's all over, tell them the Ghetto Rev told you. We had to take it to the essence to get closure. You'll learn about breakdancing and graffiti back in the 80s. Now it's on the 4 corners of the earth, Orient and Pallades, ATL, Danbury, Soda Cranberry, Mercedes. Now we got it in the books to teach the babies. Raise their minds from the spells and the vexes, spookism and inferiority complexes. Is there miseducation in public schools? Or is it the ecstasy, weed, and the booze? But everyone's seeking elevation, trying to escape the world of indoctrination, drug busts, narcotics investigations, artificial stimulation is wrecking our creation. Who am I? The kid to test you, the flower investor from Lower Westchester. I'm in tune, so I gotta lead 'em. This story is so strong, I gotta spoon feed 'em. Read carefully and overstand these confessions and jewels to help you survive the best beast intestines. I'm going to give you this without a spin or a twist. Until the next time, remember this. Some are asleep, some are dozing, some are frozen, and some are chosen.
Thank you very much. Dr. Robert Baskerville, thank you very much. He also goes by Brooklyn Bob.
Yes.
And there's a story to that. All right. Next, I'd like to introduce to you, who will then be introducing the author, Jerome Enders, Miss Alicia Smith Ward.
Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? Good, good, good. My name is Alicia Smith Ward, and I am a Yonkers native. I grew up in Mulford Garden, and Jerome is my cousin, and I could not miss today's festivity. So I am very thankful to be here to introduce this man to you. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. You're going to see me looking down because I don't want to miss nothing. Okay? So Jerome Enders is a talented author. He's a ghostwriter. He's a filmmaker. He grew up in Mulford Gardens where he developed his passion for music and hip-hop. Although his movie credits do not fully reflect his work, Jerome has made significant contributions to the movie industry, not only in Atlanta, but in California. Over the past 2 years, Jerome and his partner, Howard McCoy, have worked closely with Atlanta network executives and talent to execute task at hand. Jerome, also known as Raw Rome, he has made an appearance in Styles P solo album, A Gangster and a Gentleman. He is credited with having an influence on one of the best rap groups in hip-hop history, The Lot. Jerome is a trained medical coder who has been working in that field for 6 years. He and his wife, who is also a psychologist, are planning to launch a wellness business, which is called Viva Kinetic, to help those in need. So without further ado, please welcome my cousin, my brother, my mentor, Jerome
It's February, and we've been developing a series for the last couple of months, and now we reached the point where we have Max Moses in the building, and we about to unveil our library card. Yes. The premise of the Yonkers Lost City of Hip Hop series is to educate, unite, and to bring the community together through music. Music always been a tool to teach since time immemorial. You could check culturally, historically, institutionally. Music always been a prime factor to educate the masses of people. So since hip hop, as they said in the past, hip hop has been negative and been weaponized. Over the last 6 months, we have been taking the positive aspects and attributes of hip hop and been giving them out to the community to raise our community.
Yes.
Yes. So today, we want everybody to stick around for the next hour or so and check out the things as it unveils. Stay in tune with our program because in the next couple months, we got more educational programs to come. We have a female education panel that's coming, okay? For the last couple months, we didn't have no feminine energy there. So going forward, we're going to have female hip-hop, female in business, female contribution to what we got going on. Yes. I'm happy to be here. And the only thing I can say is thanks for everybody that supported us. And we're going to keep giving you good shows. We're going to keep bringing out positive talent. And I also want to say this too. Thanks to Trev Hollywood. I'd like to thank Bill Blass. I'd like to thank Tri-State Jericho. I'd like to thank the esteemed panelist, Arthur Baker from Planet Rock. I'd like to thank Herb Middleton, super producer Herb Middleton. I'd like to thank who else? Stray Stafford from Set It Off, who came in the building to participate in this powerful program. So we just don't have local practitioners, we have esteemed panelists that come to town to contribute and give their knowledge to the Yonkers community. Thank you very much.
All right, right now what I'd like to do is get a little music playing low. I'd also would like to introduce to you someone who is very important and very significant in the world of hip-hop. They don't really give this aspect of hip-hop much credit. I'd like to introduce everybody to B-Boy London, from New York City Breakers. He's responsible for the breaking display. Responsible for the breaking display. I'd like to give him a few words.
I know today's a really, really, really good day. Because when I was sitting down over there, I can't help but see that they keep bringing in more chairs, more rows. So give yourselves a big round of applause for showing love. We here. Hip-hop is here. Now, I'm going to try to make this very brief because I see the mayor has just walked into the building. We got the mayor in the building. Mayor Mike Spano's here. So I just want to say very briefly that being here in Yonkers, you know, Yonkers is known as the sixth borough, but let me explain something to what hip-hop really is. Hip-hop was a movement from young people not being acknowledged, not being recognized, not being catered to. You had a bunch of children that were running the streets of New York City trying to find their place. That is the creation of hip-hop culture. When you don't feel that you're recognized, when you feel that you're suppressed, when you feel that you're not given the right opportunity, you try to create some type of energy that makes the world say, hey, I'm here. I'm not a nobody, I'm a somebody. And my group, the New York City Breakers, back in 1980, performed in the White House for the President of the United States, Ronald Reagan, and I like to think that that's when America accepted hip-hop as a culture. Because up until then, it was just a fad. It was just something that a bunch of kids would just, you know, give them something to do. It wasn't taken seriously. We are the children. We are survivors. Think about it. We survived the gangs. We survived the crack era, right? We survived the heroin era. We survived the violence. We survived the burning of the Bronx to create something that took over the world. And now we're here in Yonkers celebrating? Man, come on, life is great. This is wonderful. Thank you, Yonkers. Thank you to the Lost City for making this happen. Thank you all for coming down here. And last but not least, I just want to say, because I got so much, but I got a little time. Breaking. Think about this now. This is an American culture. Born here in New York State. It's now. Think about it. When we were kids, we were competing. Block against block. Neighborhood against neighborhood, borough against borough. Now we're going country against country because it's in the Olympics. 2024 Paris. Breaking is now an official sport. It's not just an art form. It's not just a way to express yourself, which is important, but it's a sport. So think about this. With the mayor's help, we're going to be launching a breaking league in the city of Yonkers. We're going to give these kids an opportunity to go to college. Every single Ivy League school in America has a breaking program. It's just a matter of time before every high school happens to have a breaking program. And I say, Mr. Mayor, why can't Yonkers lead the way for the rest of the world? Let Yonkers be the first one to create that league. And on that note, I want to say thank you, God bless you, and keep hip-hop alive.
All right. That's hip-hop. That's hip-hop. All right? Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to turn the floor over to the Executive Director of the Yonkers Public Libraries, Jesse Montero.
Thank you so much for coming out tonight. This is a really exciting day for Yonkers Public Library, and I think it's an exciting day for the city of Yonkers, too. We're here to celebrate the city's contributions to hip-hop, an art form that's celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. And some might ask, why is the library playing such a central role in hip-hop in this celebration? It's because hip-hop is about culture. It's about art, it's about language, it's poetry, it's stories, it's information, it's knowledge, it's expression. These are all things that the library is about. And I don't think there's been a more significant art form that's come into its own in my lifetime than hip-hop. So that's why the library is getting involved. And it's also about Yonkers. Our not huge city has had a pretty huge impact on the art form. With all due respect, the lost city of hip-hop, there's a lot that's not lost about Yonkers hip-hop. If you look at DMX, the Locks, Mary J. Blige, not to mention Larkin, D-Block, the Sporty Thieves. That's a pretty impressive pedigree for a city our size. I think you could put it up against D.C. or Baltimore or bigger cities, and I think we've had a bigger impact, and we should all be proud of that. And the mayor. That's right. The library is here to celebrate all things about Yonkers history and culture, and hip-hop is certainly a part of that. So that's why we're celebrating, and one of the ways we're doing that is by releasing our first ever special edition library card, which commemorates the 50th anniversary of hip-hop. This card came about because Harold and Jerome and a lot of my staff saw what New York Public Library was doing, Brooklyn Public Library, Queens Library, Free Library of Philadelphia. They all released special edition hip-hop cards, and they said, why isn't Yonkers doing this? And those are the questions I like to be asked, because I think YPL is competing with the big library systems when it comes to innovation, when it comes to impact. And so just like Yonkers has had a big role in hip-hop, we're playing with the big dogs too and punching above our weight class, and we're really proud of that. So I want to thank them for challenging us to do this, and I really want to thank them for introducing me to Max Moses. Daniel Hopkins, who designed the card. Max is a street artist, muralist, and educator from Yonkers whose works can be seen across the globe. But he got to start here as Yonkers. In the card, which is titled Sound of Light, he says, as an artist, I'm always desiring to create imagery that shows black culture thriving in the future while staying connected to art, science, and nature with style. This design for the library celebrates the next 50 years of hip-hop with an energy that is rooted in a culture bombastic by nature and guided by the divine mind. And I don't think there's another library card in the world that looks like this, so please give it up for Max Moses and his design. I'm so proud that this is affiliated with Yonkers, and it's affiliated with YPL, and I'm so glad that you're going to have these cards in your wallets. And if you haven't already, if you're a Yonkers resident, you can sign up to get a card and use it to check out books. If you're not a Yonkers resident card, we'll give you a card and you'll have it as a souvenir. But we're so proud to have this card and to celebrate. And speaking of celebrating Yonkers, there's no one that does that harder or better than Mayor Meg Spano, who I'm happy to turn this over to right now. Thank you very much.
Oh, wow. Listen, I like bragging about Yonkers, you know that. 50 years of hip-hop, and you look around and you think of, the greats, like I said, you think of somebody like, DMX, and Rough Riders, Jadakiss Styles, and of course, some of the other names that Jesse has brought up. You talk about, don't forget about, I graduated Sacred Heart High School, so can't forget about Ice Spice, right? Let's not about that. So, it's a good Yonkers school, right? That's right. So, London Reyes, my friend for a long time. You know London? I hear you come out of retirement. You're going to participate in the next Olympics, right? Can you imagine if we have someone like this? I mean, Ronald Reagan. Right? We have a lot to be proud of in this city. Let's hear it for London. And finally, we're going to see, I'm going to work with him, and we're going to have breaking in our schools. We're going to have a program, all right? You know that. You got my assurance. We will work on getting that done. Because, like I said, the universities are doing it. Why not here in Yonkers? And so, today's a great day. Let's celebrate. Let's remember who we are, what we're all about, what makes our city great. And thinking about Yonkers, it's a wonderfully diverse city with so much history, so much character, so much grit and determination. You know, when you talk to people, they go, yeah, Yonkers, New York. You know, we get our respect now. And that's what it's all about, right? Making sure that we get our respect, make sure that no one ever dismisses this city. You know, we chose not to be, listen, we like New York City. We like New York City, but we chose not to be the sixth borough because we weren't going to lose our identity. We weren't going to become New York. We were Yonkers, New York. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that. The wild word is always in the house. So I want to just be a part of today's celebration. Nice to see everybody, really. And I apologize for my voice is shot. I had a little bout with pneumonia, walking pneumonia. Imagine that. Who gets that stuff? Anyway, but it's all gone. Just a little coffee. So my voice is a little scratchy. But I'm so happy to be here. It actually helps. Maybe I could do a little hip hop with this voice. Oh yeah. I'm not quick enough. Remember, I'm just mayor. Thanks everybody. Nice to see you all. Okay, so in celebration of Yonkers Hip Hop History Day, all right, we have some individuals that we're going to give their own proclamation to. And so on behalf of myself, the members of the City Council, we have the first one going to Jerome Enders. Jerome, are you going to break dance? Okay, so next one. Issa Parcell, also known as Large Amount.
Yeah, Lord. Yeah.
Stepped out.
Late. He's on the toilet.
We'll come back. We'll come back to it.
Remix.
All right, who's representing Rough Riders to the rescue? Let's hear it from them.
She don't look so rough. How she be representing?
You know, London, you've done that more wrong before, you know. Rough Riders, thanks for all you do. Really, you're a great part of our community. We love what you do. Thank you. Okay, so we have Max Morris. Max Moses, also known as Daniel Hopkins. Hey, Max.
We just do one with a. Make you come back up. Thank you. Great work. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh,
All right, let's give it up for the Executive Branch Entertainment Group.
Spider.
We want to call Rough Riders up again for the picture.
Yes. Rewind. Okay. Now.
Rewind, Rough Riders.
Wow. Wow.
Let's give it up for y'all.
Wow.
Salute. Salute.
Let's give it up to Mr. Spano, please. Serious business, man. Every time I come to Yonkers, this man greets me very, and show a lot of love to Yonkers for, to Rough Riders to the rescue. We just want to say thank you, man, myself personally. Let's well, my voice is kind of deep, so let's get to it. But first of all, I would like to, I'd like to thank God for having us the opportunity to all be here today. Let's give it up to God. That's more important than anything. I would like to thank y'all. Let's give it up to y'all for showing the love to be here today. You know what I'm saying? And I started at Yonkers with my father at 33 South Broadway. Let's give it up to my father. He's here. Elvis Shamsuddin. I didn't get to shout you out at the last gala there, but I'm shouting you out right now. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you. I appreciate everything that pioneers do. They pass forward to generations, and our job is to pass it forward to generations. So I'm CEO of Rough Riders. I started repping Rough Riders in 1988. It was just mere a dream, and a dream that came true based off of faith. Having faith in your dream and your mission is very important, because you're going to have a lot of obstacles that's going to interfere. But I say you built for war, so make sure you bridge your gap between you and your Lord first. Right. You know what I'm saying? Let's give it up for our Lord. So 35 years later, we here representing a legacy to maintain. Many years went through the process of great people helping us do it. Let's give it up to the people that put in the work that don't get the love. Let's give them the serious love, right? So now I have all this success, and I say I take eyes out. We put in this work from many generations, and I'm still standing along with my family. And the mission is the youth. That's what we're here for, right? We're here for the youth. So when we have success, the most important thing to do is acknowledge where you came from. So once you make it, don't forget where you came from, because you got to go back and help somebody else make it. And let's get that up. That's mandatory. So my sister 2 years ago, in 2000 started Rough Riders to the Rescue. Let's give it up to Siobhan Dean. She put me under pressure. She left me in the matrix in the middle of my music career, when we was making hit records. Let's give it up for DMX. Let's give it up to the dog. We in the dog house right now, so y'all better respect it. We in the dog house. Mr. McCoy's son in here, man. Come on over here. You gotta be here with me. B in the house, man. Let's give it up for B. Right? So, my sister, she said, we doing really good over here. Y'all don't really need me here. I said, but we need you more than ever. She said, we making hit records. We doing this thing real big. We learning the game as we earning it. And she said, no, we was always community conscious. But she said, I'm gonna open up this Rough Riders to the Rescue program, non-for-profit. And then, we like, we don't have time to think about that. But long story short, Rescue is here. Let's give it up to Rescue. Now, I've been on like my third gala, and I'm on a roll. My mother said I might be talking too much. So I told her, I'm gonna turn up. That's what we want. Let's give it to my mother, Sandra Adams. Let's stand up for the young lady, please. Let's give it up to her. Let's stand up for her. Anybody know anything about Rough Riders? If you heard anything, this is the essence where it all started. Along with my father, so we gotta give the queen the honors while she's here. Yes. Right? We gotta give ourselves honors for representing our families. I mean, this thing goes on and on. So I want to give a shout out to the Rough Riders to the Rescue team. We based here in Yonkers, New York. Yonkers is our first city that we adopt. Mayor Spano supported us. He showed us that love, that we can have support from the community here. So our job, the Rough Rider Rescue team is here. We've been here from the beginning of time, but we have a whole new team here. All the rescue team people stand up over here, please, so we can show the world how we set a tone in the city. I said, we're not coming here to, oh, Larry's in the building. That's our young lad right there. Say what's up to Larry. Give Larry some love. He's the first rescue youth in our program. Charlotte's here. Everybody knows Charlotte. So, rescue, we have chapters all over the world. If you know about Rough Riders have family in every city in the country, right? We have over 300 chapters, millions of fans, and thousands of riders. So we turn our community, our chapters, into community chapters. We that coming in and as a chapter member before was having fun, showing love, giving back. So now we converted it and say, y'all gonna mentor the city, and now the city is gonna become a chapter. So all of y'all, all of us gonna become family under one umbrella so we can stand for one cause. Let's give it up to ourselves. Now, these elite people here that you see standing to my left are family, because we are based on family, number one. Are tested soldiers and soldiettes that walks in faith, and they don't get paid to do this job. They do this for the love of the people and the youth. Let's give it up to them. So when you become a young rider, don't forget, when the youth comes, they say, well, yeah, y'all Rough Riders, y'all, that's what y'all have for us. We tell them, y'all young riders now. So how many young riders we got in the building right now? Youth. Any youth in the building? Yeah, here you go. So all we need is one to set the tone. One young rider and one rough riders, and we take over the world. So at the end of the day, when I first started Rough Riders, I went into every city and I met 1 or 2 people and gave them 1 page of the rules and regulations. And I asked them, I said, you are chosen to set this city up. And with God's support, we have over 250 chapters worldwide. Now, my parents and them say, I don't know how you do it. I'm like a entrepreneur serial killer. I'm always working, right? I walk in faith. That's my guide. You know, assalamu alaikum to the brothers and sisters out there. You know, and greetings, everybody. I ain't gonna take up no more time, but the rescue team, y'all will set the tone along with Yonkers. Will be the first city to convert every city when we unify this 5-point system here in Yonkers. Because it started here and it's got to start here. And you know the Locks is here. Let's give it up for the Locks. DMX is here. Let's give it up to DMX. Now you know a rough rider. A rough rider can work with the worst of the worst and convert their life to be the best of the best. See, we don't discriminate, but we have rules and regulations that we have to go by. Integrity is important. You have to have faith, and you have to have guidance. And our job is to guide each other. And I'm not here to preach. But Mr. McCoy, let's give it up to Mr. McCoy is here in the building. Yonkers, the lost city of hip hop. This city is the first city to set the tone worldwide, globally. To every city across the world, Yonkers is known because of the Rough Riders, DMX, the Locks, and the Rough Rider family. Let's give it up to the families out of Yonkers and the families that helped put this thing on the map. Rough Riders! You go! Salute. Thank you, Mr. Sparrow. We appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, we're going to do this again. Isha Purcell, also known as Large Amount.
Shout out to the mayor, he said I don't look large. We healthy. Yo, but listen, man, I go by the name of Large Amount, the boy of the billion bars, Mr. Fire on the lean. I know that's a long title, right? Why does he go by all of that, right? But when you got a passion for something, right? And when something is really in your heart, like my man London, the B-Boys, like wild with the Rough Rider situation, like Raw Rome with his situation, when it's in your heart, when it's really in your heart, you're going to carry whatever flag you want to carry. So the flag I carry is large amount, the boy with a billion bars, Mr. Fire on the lean. I got a billion bars. I talk that noise. But I ain't going to be up here that long. You know why? Because I come from Yonkers. And they say we got a black cloud over us and all of that. I beg to differ. We got leaders like why? We got leaders like Rome. We got leaders like Brother McCoy. Ain't nothing dark about these brothers. They bring light to the town. They bring light to the town. They bring light to the town. And shout out to Mrs. Dean and Mr. Dean, because I was in those Rough Rider studios when nobody wasn't paying me no attention, when they didn't know who I was. But they opened up them doors, and they showed me what family was really like. I come from a strong family. My mom's just here tonight. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my moms. Mama Love, she's here. I come from a strong family, so I know what that's like. And Yonkers has always been a strong family. We're a family. Whether we want to unite when we want to unite, or we're going to unite when we got to unite. But we a family, and we come together, and we support each other, and that's why we're here tonight. I look around here right now and say, Dad, I didn't know this many people was going to be here tonight for hip-hop. But this is hip-hop. This is hip-hop. So whatever role you think you didn't play in hip-hop, yo, listen, check yourself. Because you play a very big role in hip-hop, just being here tonight. I wouldn't be here tonight if y'all wasn't here tonight. I need somebody to support me so I know I'm doing the right thing. If don't nobody show up to my games, I'm going to stop playing. I'm going to find another game to play. But y'all show up to my games. Y'all been showing up to my games for the last 25 years. Amen. When didn't nobody cared. It could have went left for me. Because I come from these same streets that DMX and all of them came from. It could have went left. I could have made the wrong choices. But I cared about hip-hop. I cared about music. When I heard Public Enemy and I heard Tribe Called Quest and I heard DMX when my father was just getting those mixtapes in the cab, bringing X around Yonkers for free because he couldn't pay for the cab. Yeah, I come from that. I come from syrup sandwiches, fried bologna and all of that. Yeah, the struggle, the real struggle. But again, we here, right? We here, looking out for one another and supporting one another. The first time I was in the studio, Raw Rome was right there. I didn't even know he rapped. I thought Raw Rome was a barber. I got to the studio, he was in the booth doing the chorus. And I said, well, I shouldn't be here. Because all of the guys that was in there were saying, yo, he's the legend. You in here with the legend right now. And that was the first and last time I got to witness Raw Rome rap with my own two eyes. But all of these years later for it to come full circle, and they tell me I get to come here on a day he gets to do something great for the town, and I get to be a part of it. Trevor the intern. I know him as Trevor the intern. Trevor Hollywood. I know him as Trevor the intern. You know what an intern is? Yeah. I was about 9 years old, and they was calling him Trevor the intern on my block. He been paying dues since before I even knew what dues was. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have a problem paying dues. Or embarrassing myself or looking a little vulnerable. Because I know it come with the game. Yeah, you got to put yourself out there sometimes to win. Like I said, I ain't got too much to say because the big homie Wild said it all. It's about family, it's about love, it's about dedication, it's about standing for something. And if my content didn't matter, if the things I talked about in my music didn't matter, I probably wouldn't even be allowed to stand here. Because there's so many other rappers in Yonkers that do what they do. But I was asked to come here today, right?
That's right.
And stand here.
That's right. That's right.
So let me spike the football and do my little dance for me. Because I worked hard to get where I'm at today. And listen, being a part of this hip-hop, we're celebrating 50 years today, right? 50 years from now, we'll be celebrating 100 years. And guess who's going to be a part of that story? Yours truly. Because I put the work in. So all I'm going to say to everybody out here, whatever your passion is, it could be art, it could be music, it could be whatever it is. Fixing cars, I don't care what it is. Stick to your guns. Stick to your guns. Never hang it up. Look at this guy over here. How many times he stuck to his guns? And he's gonna keep sticking to his guns, right? Yo, listen, you can't hate on a winner. Only thing you can do is figure out how they winning. What are they doing? What do they have that we don't have? But again, the big homie said it, man, him and his family. You gotta be about something. You gotta stand for something out here. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's watching. There's a lot of people in here. I don't know everybody in here, right? And y'all, and everybody in here don't know me. But I'm sure after tonight, we create some type of relationship. Whether it be musically or whether it just be inspirational. You know what I'm saying? Take whatever you can take from this and take it to the sky's the limit. Sky's not the limit. It goes past that, right? Stratosphere and all of that. If you want to get into quantum and all of that. Yeah. But yo, listen, man. It's Yonkers. We're a family. We're a community. Let's stick together. Let's keep rising up. Let's keep winning. We got the voice in here. Not Channel 12. We got the voice. All right? So it's about putting out work in. It's about what really counts. Showing up for when it matters. I love all of y'all, man. And listen, the boy with a billion bars, large amount. I have an album out right now. It's called Honorable. Plug that in real quick. It's on Bandcamp. It's not for free. It's not only streaming services. Support the artists. Do what's right. Because listen, 25 years ago when DMX was doing his thing, I wasn't rapping. 1998 when the Locks dropped their album and DMX dropped his first album, I wasn't rapping. It wasn't a dream for me. But when I seen people from my neighborhood make it, just telling their story, I said, you know what? I got a story to tell too. And I'm going to tell it. I don't care if they buy it, but I got a story. I want to tell it. So if you want to listen to my story, it's called Honorable. It's on Bandcamp right now, bandcamp.com. You can go on there and buy it right now. It's only $5. I love y'all. Let's go. Oh, this is for me. Y'all, listen. Nobody never gave me nothing, right? I had to earn everything. So listen. Now, I can't give it up like wow because they really put it down. So this is my last little 20 seconds. I can start playing that exit music and all of that. Nobody never gave me nothing. I appreciate this. I don't feel like y'all giving me this. I feel like I earned it. Amen. So thank y'all. Hold on, before I get out of here, because like I said earlier, there's some dudes that didn't make it, right? And we made it. And I got some dudes over here that came out tonight to support me that made it. They work at the Board of Education. They work in the Bronx school system. They out here saving lives every day. Look, let's stand up. My guys, John Doe, Nerd, the fellas, let's go. We out here saving lives every day. Nino, let's go. Let's go. Shout out to my guys. We saving lives out here. I love y'all. Y'all try to avoid the billion bars. We'll be at the brewery. Drinks is half price.
Very important. Extremely important. Sorry.
No. That's all. It's a very important presentation, and sometimes we have those unsung heroes, but they're there and they're always making it work for all of us behind the scenes, and he's one of them. And so we're going to give it up for Jesse Montero.
They surprised me with this one. I'm not going to give a speech, guys. Thank you.
All right, everyone. We're going to move forward with the show. Right now, what we'd like to do is introduce you to the artist, the designer, the mind behind the new limited edition Yonkers Public Library card. Max Moses. Some of you may know him as Poems too. Brother Daniel Hopkins.
All right. Thank you all for coming out tonight. It's been really interesting hearing and learning about everybody's history that's been on this podium thus far. You know, and you talk about hip hop, and hip hop is this really boisterous art expression. You know, especially when you talk about rap. You know, it's just bold and it's powerful. And I was never that person. I was quiet, yeah? But inside me, still there was this voice that had something to say. But it wasn't a verbal expression. It was an internal deep waters that were like running through my being that had to be expressed. And I didn't know how to do it. So I was riding the trains. My mom, she used to take us to the city all the time, and I was riding the subways, and I would see all this writing on the inside of the train. And I was like, yo, what is that? Like, who did that? Like, that's illegal. Yeah, I want to do that. So I found out who was doing it, and I started practicing on paper. And then I learned this whole culture was illegal. Everything about it was illegal. You had to steal your supplies. You stole your spray paint. You didn't pay to get on the bus. You didn't pay to get on the train. You snuck into the train yards. You had to worry about other crews trying to steal your paint, beat you up. Everything about this culture was outside the rules. And I didn't grow up like that. My dad is here right now. I grew up in a good household. That wasn't my upbringing. But I was compelled to do it. There was something bigger than me calling me. And I had to obey it. But there's a few things that I learned through the process. And the number one thing that I learned is, yo, you have to take a risk. You have to take a risk. If you want to expand beyond the limitations that you placed upon your own self, you have to take risk. And the second thing I learned is that, and that's very obvious of what everyone said here and how come everyone took up so much time, is because self-expression. Let me back up. I said I grew up with a good household. Why was I doing this? Why was I breaking the law? Why was I stealing spray paint? Why was I going to the train yards, writing my name over everything and anywhere I could possibly do it? I had to understand that. I was like, I'm not crazy. Why did I do this? And I realized that self-expression is the most important thing for a human being to do. There's nothing more important than it. I risked my life to do it. Okay? So I stand here today in ultimate gratitude for coming back to Yonkers after all the years of traveling the planet, making art, spreading what I love to do, to get embraced, to come back home. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? So thank you very much. Yo, I want to give a shout out to my dad. Yo, Pops, stand up, please. That's my father right there, Fred Hopkins, 95 years old. That man raised me right there. You know, so I'm not going to hold up your time. All I'm going to say is thank you, Yonkers, for embracing me. Thank you, Harold McCoy II. And yo, you know something? We talked about Harold McCoy. When I came from college and returned to Yonkers and wanted to do some projects in Yonkers, who opened the door for me? Harold McCoy. And now his son was the one that orchestrated all of this. So like, you talk about full circle, this is full circle tenfold. So thank you, thank you, thank you.